fuck up. And if that leads us to adapting office who've been neglected, then so be it. There was no struggle with this one. I gotta say, I think when you win Best Picture, the purse is kind of open up. But I think for black authors in general, they just haven't been adapted at the same rate as their white peers. And so I just wanted to thank Megan Ellison. You know, I think there's a few different reasons why James Baldwin hasn't been adapted, why Toni Morris has only been adapted once. But you know, there's enough black literature that is amazing that hasn't been adapted for this to clearly be a systemic problem, and not a problem just of chance or fate. And so I just want to thank Megan for stepping up and deciding that James Baldwin should be presented on the big screen.
This is so curious. How did you work with
Yeah, it was Mark Friedberg was the production designer on this film. He was an amazing production designer. I hadn't worked with him before, but Jeremy and Dede knew him very well. He did Selma, which again is a movie that I think is great in scope but modest in budget, and yet you felt everything about those marches, in Ava's film. I think Mark did the same thing with this piece. New York in 1974 was very different than it is today, but I think Mark did a really great job of getting with myself and James Laxton, a costume designer Carolyn Esselin, and deciding we were going to make a New York that was reflective of Tish's consciousness, our main character, but also a New York of faces and interior spaces. And I think in that way, Mark did a great job of bringing New York to life. How's my life changed since what, bruh? I think the difference is I can't deny that I have a certain kind of responsibility and that the things that we do are a symbol. I think of myself, when I was here for the first time with Medicine for Melancholy, a $15,000 budget feature shot by the same DP, edited by the same editor, Nat Sanders. And what I would have thought of seeing someone like myself walk on the stage to accept Best Picture. And so I think the responsibility of the things that we're choosing to do and how we're doing them, how we're representing the canon that Homeboy spoke of, I think in that way I can't deny that I can't just be an artist working in isolation, that I have a responsibility to bear, which is fine. There are other people working under much more difficult conditions who have much more responsibility to bear, so that's the biggest difference.
Eric, what do you want to say about the state of race relations today?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, I get what you're saying, bro, but I think it's too big of an umbrella for any one film to exist under. I think look at the films that were nominated for Best Picture here, the films that are nominated for Best Picture tomorrow. I think you'll see the industry as a whole is responding in a way that I think presents a world and a country that I think is more united, under one umbrella of race, ethnicities, and sexes and genders, or sexual orientations, but one that is divided by those things like rainbow borders. So. It's awesome, bro. No, it's dope, man. No, it's dope because I'll be honest, when I started making movies, I wanted to win these things. I thought it was impossible to win the other things. Somehow, through mixing the envelopes and whatnot, we won the other thing the last time. So. But I think being here is always really cool. I remember when we made Medicine for Melancholy, we were nominated for Best First Feature. And I was pissed because I wanted to be nominated for Cassavetes, man, because the movie was so low budget. And Charlie Kaufman makes it in New York, so I knew we couldn't win Best First Feature. It was technically Charlie Kaufman's first feature, but just being here with Charlie Kaufman, being here with all the films that were nominated that year, I was like, yeah, this is the kind of energy and vibe I want to be around. So it's pretty cool. And also, too, you win Best Picture, and it doesn't change the filmmaker that you are. I think being here, winning or losing, is confirmation, affirmation that we're going to continue making things in the same way. No, you already asked one. You didn't get the last question. I'm sorry, my dear. Yes.
Can you talk about your references or your inspirations for your music and talk? I know that there seems to be a heavy influence from Kong Wai-War. Is there other filmmakers that you were inspired by? Because it's such a lush.
Yeah, there's actually not very little inspiration from Wong Kar-wai. I mean, it was raining. We were walking down an alley. The scene wasn't meant to be filmed in the rain, and so Diego suggested we grab umbrellas, paraguas, as he said, and you end up making this shot that looks like In the Mood for Love. It wasn't planned. What I say about that is I sign my autograph a lot now, which is a crazy thing for me. I don't like my handwriting because I don't like writing in cursive, but when I see it, I see my third grade teacher who taught me how to write in cursive on the chalkboard. I see her signature in my signature, And so in the same way, when I learned about making movies, there's the watching Marco Wide, Claire Denis, Jean-Luc Godard. And so when people watch my movies, they see their DNA and my signature. But I think it's our voice. So I take it as a compliment, but it's not intentional. So thank you, bro. Thank y'all.